to go through some Kinstretch today. It's going to be internal rotation for the hip in 90-90, and then we're also going to slide in some tibial rotation on that same leg, which we haven't done before. So all you need today, I do have a couple dumbbells set up because we're going to do some positional isometrics. So if you do just have something that is not movable, instead of doing the positional isos, you can honestly just do some light pails if you don't have anything like this, and then you'll just need a block optionally um, for yourself. Okay, so we're just gonna get into some hip cars, sideline. Just gonna do 2 each way just to warm up. So we're in bottom hand pulling, top hand punching. Just moving nice and smooth through these hip cars. Hope y'all have been liking those kin snacks, a little short follow along mobility snacks that are designed to slide in multiple times a day, just based on whatever you feel in terms of joint wise might need some extra love throughout the day, and you can't find 40 to 60 minutes, which is understandable to do a full Kinstretch class. Okay, now on that same leg, we're just going to go 2 knee cars. So let's rotate out, up, in, down. Once more. Then we'll take it right back. And perfect. Okay, let's switch. So again, let's get that bottom hand pulling, top hand punching. Squeeze that ball behind that top leg, and we got 2 hip cars on this side. I've been doing a little bit of experimenting with this tibial stuff. In 90-90, it actually just added some, there's a mastering the system tab and for the Kinstretch providers. So this was one of the most recent additions, is how to slide in some tibial rotation. And as y'all know, we've been doing jujitsu lately, so my lower legs can definitely use this love. We got leg locked about 10 times on Friday. It was nasty. Okay, let's go 2 knee cars. So boom, in, once more. Yeah, I'm hoping this mic doesn't die during this session. If it does, I'll just talk a little bit louder. I'll just pre-warn. It could be a possibility. Okay, so we're gonna be 90-90. We're gonna do our tibia stuff first, and then we're gonna do our hip stuff, since we'll kind of finesse that as a stretch. Okay, so 90-90. If you do have those 2 dumbbells or blocks or kettlebells or whatever you have, you want to line up so you're inside of them. Now we're not going to use them right now. So if you want to move the bottom one out the way, that's just fine. We're going to start first with some tibial work for the lower leg. Okay, so what that is, it's here and then here. Okay, so excuse me. We're going to start with this positional isometric. So if you want to just put your hand on top of your toes, your pinky toe. If you can't reach it, feel free to just slide it in a little bit. Okay, well, we're just going to be right here. And now just very lightly drive the inside of your heel and barely try to lift up those toes in the hand. Okay, so this should get you a nice contraction somewhere around your outer leg. You should feel the hip on the outside as well. Just super light. Think like you're just barely trying to rotate those toes up into the hand. This is going to be more of an active Kinstretch. So not as many pails and rails, but we got some positional isometrics and then some active work. But you'll feel all the active isometrics we do. Okay, let's slowly relax. And now let's switch. Put your hand on your heel. And now think heavy toes and try to lift the heel up barely into your hand. Okay, so now you should feel this in a similar area, but it might be bleeding if it's in your hip, a little bit more in the inside of the thigh. And just breathe and hold that tension. Super duper light. Suggest, especially if you're not familiar with tibial rotation, we're not technically in our in range right now. And I'm just going to give you one option on the next one for it. Okay, slowly relax. All right, so we're gonna do one more of each. Okay, now I was gonna say you have the option if you want a little bit more in range to rotate that up. Put your fist under here. Okay, you can do that, or if you feel good, just stay the exact same. Okay, I'm gonna stay the same on this side. But you can drive up here as we try to rotate the toes up, and so it actually be driving the heel down into your hand there. Okay, so let's go one more, nice and light, 20% max effort. I guess I'll start here. I'm gonna just go right here, but same thing. The inside of the heel is heavy, trying to drive those toes up into your hand. It's nice and light. If you're feeling froggy, see if you can push a little bit harder. Let's go about 10 more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay. One more positional. Let's go right to the heel. And now try to barely lift that heel up into the hands. So again, we'll just start nice and light, 10, 20% max effort. See if we can ramp up a little harder, maybe 30, 40. We won't be going max effort here. We're just going to do some active axials after this and then start on our hip rotation. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, so we're going to do 3 active axials each way. We're going to hold each one about 5 or so seconds. Okay, so let's start. You're going to drive the inside of that heel, and then you're going to rotate those toes up. They should come off the ground a bit, and you're going to hold. You're nice and active for 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax. If you get a little crampy here, just do a little bit less. Now the other way. Now the heels are heavy, or the toes are heavy. Excuse me. You're gonna actually lift the heel up, keeping the front knee nice and heavy. You're nice and active. If you want a little feedback, feel free and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. 2 more each. Try to lift the toes up off the ground now. Ankle nice and heavy for 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax. And now let's go heel, rotate, active for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. 1 more each. Rotate, hold the feet off the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax. Now the heels come up. Rotate, rotate, hold. 4, 3, 2, and slowly relax. Okay, so now you want to get lined up so you're right in between those um, dumbbells or whatever you're using, plates. So we're going to start with these positional isometrics as we explore um, our in range of motion. Okay, so I'm going to be driving into this, and then I'll be driving into this one. Okay, so those are going to be our positionals today. Again, if you don't have these, then while we're going up this way, just do a pales contraction. So think your knee and ankle heavy into the ground. And then while we're pushing this way, think rails contraction. So that you're trying to rotate that foot up off the ground. Okay? All right. So let's start all here first. Okay? So we're going to take a big breath in. Hands can be on the ground, but I'm trying to give myself a big hug. And now about 20-30% max effort. Try to drive that knee up into that plate or dumbbell. Hold that tension. And we're going to slowly rotate the upper body as much as we can towards the back foot. And then we're going to keep driving here and then slowly rotate yourself back. So if you're not have the blocks, you're doing pails right now. Okay, now we're going to go positional here. So now I'm trying to slide my leg back, try to push that plate away. Hold that tension. If you don't have the blocks, you're doing rails right now. Okay, so drive that heel super heavy, rotate the upper body as much as you can towards the back foot. And now keep driving. And then we'll slowly rotate away. Okay, 2 more each. Let's start to drive the knee forward into that block or pails. Hold that tension. And let's slowly rotate your upper body as much as you can towards the back foot. And then hold that tension. Keep driving forward or down for a pails contraction. And then slowly drive yourself back forward. Okay, let's switch. Now I'm going to try to slide this back. Initiate that contraction, maybe 20 to 40% max effort. Hold that. And let's slowly rotate towards the back foot, upper body. My heel super heavy, trying to drive that dumbbell away. Keep driving. And we're going to slowly rotate the upper body back towards the front. Okay, 1 more each. Now I'm trying to slide forward. Hold that tension. And let's rotate towards the back foot once more. Just taking your time here. These positionals are going to get some of these muscles that you may not have felt before. We're just going to rotate as much as we can. Again, you can be doing a light pails contraction right now. Keep driving that thing forward or keep that pails going and slowly rotate yourself back forward. Okay, last one. You're either going to do rails or drive that foot back. So let's start to slide straight back. Feel that glute, maybe the hamstring a little bit. Hold that tension. You see me shaking a bit. Let's keep that, and we're going to slowly rotate towards the back foot. And now keep sliding that thing back. And we're going to slowly rotate back, forward. Ooh, nice. Okay, so we're going to get into some eccentrics. I'm just moving those out the way. All right. So start nice and upright. We're going to hinge forward as much as it feels good. And now we're going to initiate a pales contraction, 90 or about 50% max effort. Drive that knee and ankle down into the ground, that back foot. Hold that tension. If you can, let the hands off the ground and slowly pull yourself back up. Knee and ankle super duper heavy. Controlling yourself up to the top. Relax, reset. Okay, let's go knee and ankle, nice and heavy. Hold that tension. Slowly start to pull the upper body back up to the top. If you need more difficulty, just take the hands off the ground, but you can keep them on the ground too. Slowly, slowly pull yourself back up, drive in that knee and ankle. Super duper tight. Relax. 2 more like that. Let's hinge. Okay, initiate that pales. Knee and ankle, nice and heavy. Hold that tension. Let's slowly start to pull ourselves back up to the top. Should really feel that inner thigh nice and fired up here. Moving super slow. Really trying to own every centimeter of that range of motion, no matter how big or small it is. Okay, relax. Once more here. So I'm just kind of readjusting each time, trying to get a little bit more length through that groin. Okay, here we go. Pales. And let's slowly start to drive ourselves back up. Keeping that 50% max effort pales, knee and ankle into the ground. All the way back up to the top. Ooh. Relax. Okay, so it's gonna do some rear leg liftoffs, and then we're gonna do some rear knee liftoffs, and then we'll switch to the other side. Okay, so let's hinge forward. Gonna get to a spot where you can lift that foot up just barely off the ground. Should be very hard to get it. You shouldn't flex that foot. We're actually gonna do 3 without flexing the foot, and then we're gonna go 3 with rotating that tibia, which is gonna be a bit different sensation. Okay. Okay, so we're nice and unflexed right now. So let's get good tension. Brace up, heavy knee, light foot, rotate and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. 2 more like that. Good tension. Rotate, lift, and hold. 4, 3, 2. Relax. Last one like this. Good tension. Rotate, lift. 4, 3, 2. Relax. Okay, so now before each rep, we're gonna get into that tibial rotation here, and you're gonna try to keep that and barely try to get that big toe off the ground. If it doesn't lift, it's just fine, okay? Same thing, into that hinge position. Lift that heel off the ground, brace up. Try to keep the heel where it's at and try to just barely get the toe off the ground and hold. 4, 3, 2. Relax. 2 more like that. Heel up off the ground. Initiate the tension. Try to keep the heel where it's at. Rotate the hip until the big toe barely comes off the ground and hold. 4, 3, 2. Relax. Last one here. Drive the heel. Get good tension. Rotate. Lift. Hold. 4, 3, 2. Relax. Ooh. Okay. Last things here. We're just going to get these rear knee lift-offs. I'm just going to drop this. Hinge as much as you need, or lean as much as you need to that right side. We're just going to go 3 10-second holds here. Okay, so we're thinking length out. We're driving that leg up as much as we can and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2. Control down, slow. 2 more like that. Length up. The front leg super duper heavy. We're active at the top for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Control down, slow. Last one here. Tension, length up. Hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax. Ooh. Okay, that's done for that side. Let's get these cars in on that same side we just did. So we'll start with the knee. So we're just going to rotate out, up, in, down, up, down. Keep it right there. Up, out, down. Once more. Okay, get a couple sideline hip cars in. Same ones we did in the beginning, so you should feel a nice difference here. Let's slowly come up, out. Rotate. Nice. Straight back up. Rotate. And last one. And nice. Okay, one side down. Okay, I'm gonna switch this thing up. Just double check this. Perfect. All right. So let's get set back up in that 90-90 on the other side. So you feel one side. It's a little different than the other. I started with my more limited side. My right side is a little bit better. Still just like sitting up on here because spend quite a bit of time here and you just want to be as comfortable as you can because it's already an uncomfortable position. Okay, so remember you can move this one because we're going to start with that tibia rotation. So we're nice and upright best you can. Again, if you can't reach your leg, just feel free to bring it in as much as you need to. Okay, so let's start with that hand on your toes. And then we're going to just barely try to rotate the toes up into the hand. Maybe like 5-10% max effort. Just enough to feel that light contraction on the groin, glute, with the outside of the lower leg as well. Just think super heavy on the inside of your heel. Trying to rotate up into that hand. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, now let's switch. Let's go to the heel. And now we're going to barely try to lift the heel up. So we're going to mash the toes into the ground and barely try to lift that heel up into the hands. So again, you should feel this pretty good into the glute or the inside of the thigh, somewhere up there. Especially since we're doing a positional, we're not technically our in range here. Just breathe and hold that tension. Less is more. And this might be our first time doing rotational work in 90-90. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, switch back to the foot or to the toes. So 3, 2. Let's barely try to rotate the toes up into the hand. Again, nice and light. And if you are feeling okay, you can try to go just a little bit harder. But the goal today is not to go max effort here. It's just to find that contraction and then work it. Okay, so we're just looking for that mind-muscle connection. Just try for 10 seconds. Keep trying to drive those toes up into the hand. 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, and then let's go right back to the heel once more. 3, 2. And let's start to drive that heel barely up. So now you're mashing the toes into the ground, barely trying to rotate that heel up into your hand. Just keep that light tension. If you want, you can go a little bit harder right now. If not, just stay where you're at. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Slowly relax. Okay, let's get our rotations in. So let's start with the toes. So the heel is heavy. You're gonna try to rotate the toes as much as you can off the ground and hold. 4, 3, 2. Relax. So you see my tibia is not as good on this side. Okay, now drive the toes, rotate the heel off the ground, hold the front knee super heavy. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. 2 more each. Let's get the toes off the ground, rotate, hold. 4, 3, 2. Relax. And we'll go to the heel. Rotate, hold. 4, 3, 2. Relax. 1 more each. Toes, biggest one. Hold. 3, 2. Relax. Now we'll get the heel. Rotate, hold. 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay. So let's get nice and locked into our dumbbells or whatever we're using. Again, you can just do pails and rails instead here. So it'll just be a very long kinetic stretch. Okay. I think I might go up just a tiny bit here. The groin's feeling a little tight today, which is just fine. You gotta, listen to your body. Don't try to force it. Okay. And we're just gonna be counterproductive in what we're trying to do. Okay, so let's start driving that knee forward, somewhere between 20 to 40% max effort, or you're hitting pale straight down. Hold that tension. Let's slowly rotate the upper body towards the back foot. And now let's switch. Oh, align. Keep driving up. Not so fast, solo. Keep driving. Keep your pales contraction if that's what you're hitting. And slowly pull yourself back forward. Okay, now we're gonna drive, try to push that dumbbell away from you, or rails. Try to scoop the foot up off the ground. Hold that tension, and let's slowly rotate the upper body towards the back foot. Keep trying to push that dumbbell away. Slowly drive yourself all the way back forward. Okay, 2 more each. Let's start to drive that plate forward or pales. Keep that tension. Let's slowly rotate towards the back foot. Cutting it close. And then drive that thing back. Oh, I'm sorry. Again, keep driving forward. Getting distracted. Slowly come back. Okay, now we're going away. Try to slide that plate. Or rails. Slowly rotate towards the back foot. Now keep that tension. Slowly pull yourself back forward. Whew. 1 more each. Okay, let's try to push that plate forward. Hold that. Slowly rotate towards the front foot, or towards the back foot, excuse me. You're either going forward or pales right now. I know I've said that a lot, but just as a reminder. And I know I've messed up a couple times on this side. Okay, now keep driving forward once you get to your end, and slowly pull yourself back forward. Okay, last one, straight back. Try to push that plate away, or rails. Try to scoop the foot up. Hold that. Slowly drive towards the back foot. Keep that tension driving back, or rails. And slowly pull yourself back forward. Whew. Okay, so we can move these out the way. Now we're gonna go right to a kinetic stretch, eccentrics, okay? So we're nice and upright. We're hinging forward till you feel okay. We're initiating that pales contraction, about 30 to 50% max effort, knee and ankle nice and heavy. Hold that tension. If you can, take the hands off the ground and slowly pull yourself back up to the top. Relax, reset. 3 more. Knee and ankle. Rotate nice and heavy into the ground. Hold that tension. Slowly start to drive yourself back up. Using that groin, hip area. Should really go super slow so you really own, again, every centimeter of this range of motion. You don't want to rush through these. Relax, reset. 2 more. Knee and ankle, nice and heavy. 30 to 50% max effort. Hold that tension and let's slowly start to drive ourselves back up to the top. Again, just really taking your time here. All the way back up to the top. Relax. Okay, last one. Good tension, knee and ankle, heavy. Keep that. And let's slowly, last one, pull ourselves back up to the top. And relax. Okay, let's hinge. Should be right on time. Okay, we got 6 liftoffs, 3 regular, 3 with that ankle up. Okay, so we're going to get to a spot where you can barely lift that foot off the ground. So let's get good tension. Rotate, lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. 2 more. Good tension. Rotate, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Last one. Tension, tension. Rotate, lift. 4, 3, 2, relax. Okay, now get that heel off the ground as much as you can. Radiate that tension. Try to keep the heel up. Try to get the big toe barely off the ground and hold. 3, 2, relax. 2 more. Heel up. Radiate that tension. Try to scoop that big toe off the ground. Hold. 4, 3, 2, relax. Last one here. Let's rotate the heel off the ground. Tension, tension. Rotate the foot and hold. 4, 3, 2, and relax. Whew. Okay. These rear leg liftoffs and then cars. All right. So we're thinking lengthen up. So straight out. You're nice and active for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Control it down. 2 more. Brace up. Reach and lift. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Control it down. Last one. Rotate, rotate. Hold. 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay. In with some cars. So 2 knee cars. So let's rotate out, up, in, down. And let's take it right back. Okay. 2 hip cars. And then that's a wrap. So here we go. Bottom hand pulling, top hand punching. Squeeze that ball. And let's slowly come up. Back rotate. Nice. And then straight back up. And he starts to come back through towards the chest. Foot rotating forward. Last one. And nice. That's a wrap, y'all.